Hi, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. Today I'm going to be making a couple of different sizes of zipper pouches using jelly roll fabric. This is a very beginner-friendly, easy to sew project. I hope you enjoy this video, and if you haven't yet subscribed yet, please subscribe and let me know in the comments below which design you like best. Thanks for watching. To make the bags, you're going to need a zipper, fabric, lining, and quilt batting. To get started, I have chosen 5 strips from a jelly roll, and I'm going to be sewing those together. If you don't have a jelly roll, you can always cut out 2.5-inch wide strips of fabric. After I finish sewing them together, I press down the seams, and it measures 10 inches wide. Now, measurements really don't matter because you can make this as wide as you want or as big as you want. What I'm making here now, ends up being 10 inches wide, and I'm going to be cutting it 16 inches long. And you just need to make sure that you have a zipper long enough to go across the top piece. So this is the size I have. It's 18 by 10 inches. Like I said, it could be any size you'd like. And I'm going to save this for the second bag we're going to be making. So I need to cut out a piece of quilt batting to go underneath this. There's printing on the back of this, so I'm just going to, actually it's going to show through, so probably do it this way. I'm going to pin this together here, just randomly hold it in place, and I'm going to draw in lines about 1.5 inches wide, going right across. So the next thing we want to do is sew on the zipper. I'm going to see if I can move the camera back a bit. Okay, so I'm going to be sewing across each end with the zipper. Make sure that the top of the zipper, let's see here, so the top of the zipper is facing down. And then take the lining and line it up and go over it again. You can take this over to your iron and press it down. Or if you feel comfortable, like this is folding down pretty good, I can top stitch like without pressing it. So after you finish this side, you want to go over to the other side. Oops, bumping into the camera. And we're going to line this up. So what I'm going to do here actually is I'm going to cut the zipper and I can show you how to reattach it later. So this is going to separate all together, and we'll put that back. So now I'm going to take the other end and sew that. And it'll look like this. And we're going to reattach the zipper. I put the zipper pull back on, and now we're going to turn it inside out. But before I do that, I want to mark the center piece here, like just a little mark there. It'll be hidden by the seam allowance anyway. Okay, turn it right side back, inside out. Then we're going to put the, actually I can cut that. We're going to put the center of the zipper to that line there on that side. I'm going to bring that as close as I can to each other and mark that. Okay. And I cut out 3-inch strips of ribbon, and I burnt the edges so they don't fray. And I'm just going to put these inside on each end. That will be the zipper pull. Now that I have this all pinned, I'm going to be sewing along each end. So after sewing each end, it's supposed to look like this. And then I have these little squares I've made. I always keep them on hand for when I'm doing this. So this is a 2-inch square, and I'm going to take it on each corner, and I place it right above the seam, like right at the seam. Don't go to the end. Go right to where your seam is and line it up at the edge. Make a corner. Now we're ready to finish up the ends and sew up the corners. Before I continue, to finish up the edges, I am using this. I already prepared this before I started the video. It's just a 2-inch strip of fabric that I pressed in half and half again. So I'm going to put this on the side that the 2 sides that I already have sewn. So the next one I want to make, I decided to use the same pattern as we had before. And so this again is 10 inches wide. And then this time I cut a 20-inch long piece. And I still have a small piece left that I could make something small with. So this time we're going to do a different bottom, side, and top. So I'm just going to fold it in half. Doesn't look like it's very square, but that's okay. So I have all the pieces cut now. And I think the next thing I need to do is find a zipper that will go across this, because I don't think this one will go. Oh, maybe just barely. I think this one might work. Okay, we'll give it a try. After I finished top stitching the zipper, I left the zipper open and turned it inside out, lining up the zipper pieces and making sure everything is flat. And I'm just going to sew up the sides here. Change my foot. And I do recommend, don't do what I did and keeping the zipper together. It is a little more tricky. It was kind of tricky getting in at the edge here. So it would be easier to just take the zipper apart and put it back together again after. So now we're just going to do the corners, and I'm using a 2-inch square again, and I'm just going to line it up with the seam. I'm going to sew that and finish the edge. So these are all the bags I made. This one here I like with the curved top. When you open it up, it has a bigger opening and you can see everything that you have in your bag. And if you do make this, I recommend you do take the zipper apart. It makes it a lot easier to assemble. And these two are started off with the same size pieces. This one's just with a 1.5 inch square corner, and this one's a 2-inch square corner. So let me know what you think in the comments below, and thanks for watching. Bye for now.